Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Upton. I am a content creator making videos about tech, money, and culture. I'm originally from the US. Very excited to be with you today. I'm excited to be joined by our esteemed panelists, Rams and Lars. Why don't you introduce yourselves to us?
Okay, I'm Ram. I lead the AI research for Zoho and Manage Engine. I flew in from Chennai, India, for this event.
My name is Lars German. I'm the Group Chief Digital Officer and also AI Officer for Qatar Insurance, one of the leading companies in insurance in the Middle East.
Perfect. Now, we're working with two pretty different sectors here. We have insurance, we have software development. Let's hit the ground running. How is AI impacting and changing your industry as of right now?
Go ahead.
Okay. So obviously, insurance is a business where we have a lot of data. And AI is using a lot of data, and you can make a lot of sense out of this data with AI. So across the insurance value chain, we have AI use cases everywhere. In the interaction with our clients, in the way how we calculate our products, in the way how we service our clients as well. So AI is changing everything. And I wouldn't go that far right now on the business models itself. I believe it's more challenging to get things done, because there are unbelievable opportunities out there. And you got the call from hundreds of providers every day. But we, as a really sizable company, we are sitting on our very own data. So responsibility towards our company is to work with our own data and, yes, get inspired, but actually do things on its own.
Perfect. And with what we see with our customers, we have a very diverse range of customers, all particularly business audience, from IT to marketing to sales to finance. And one thing is there's just a lot of hype. Look at the technology. It's not artificial, it's not intelligence. There's just crazy amount of hype, and there is always over-expectation and under-delivery. So what we have seen is we've only seen a 10 to 15% productivity improvement across the board, and not 2x, definitely not 10x. So setting the right expectations has been a challenge from us to the customers, from the customers to their board. So to do this, the digital maturity piece becomes very important. So you have your process in silos, data in silos, and expect AI to come in and do the magic. It just isn't working. Even to get 15% of accuracy or 15% of your productivity improvement, you need to have a strong digital strategy. So I think it all ties into your broader digital transformation ecosystem. Get your digital basics right, get your process right, get your data right, and then there is a chance for a 10% improvement in productivity. So that setting the expectations has been a major challenge.
Lars, insurance has always relied on data and risk models. So what is AI allowing you to do now that you couldn't do 5 years ago, or maybe even 1 year ago?
Yeah, but that's rather the right way of putting it. We have been working with AI 5 years ago as well, right? But what we have since 2 years is this Gen AI wave, which enables us to do things differently. So while we in the past, yes, we have been looking into claims, and we're looking into data, and we've built nice models around it, and I think we have done good things over there. It was really static, and you needed specialized people doing a lot of things. What the new wave of AI and Gen AI really enables us is to think differently. And differently, I mean everything in the insurance value chain. New products, how we develop products, how we calculate products, and how we get those products out to our customers. I think we had yesterday the level CEO over there. So exactly, that you can just think about something, and 3 years later you have it in the prototype. You're still a highly regulated business. Yeah, so even if I dream of a product and have it in a pilot stage tomorrow, I still need 6 months to get it approved from the regulator. But yes, you most probably have to have 10 of those products at the same time, and then step by step you get things done. So for us, it's really engaging on new business models, new products, and the way how we operate. And that's the key thing. I think what Pramit just said. The organization needs to be ready. And I believe it's different now compared to 4 or 5 years ago. Because the ChatGPTs of this world, everybody is using at home. And people are learning, employees are learning, and they're using it at home, and then they're starting using it in a company, which is sometimes not really good because of data safety, but people are eager to do something new. I have gray hair, so it reminds me on the age when in the 2000s internet came up and we were dreaming of new business models. The very same thing happens now, but this time, same as back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, people are engaged. They want to do. They are coming back with ideas. They're like, wow, really cool stuff. Let's do this.
Ram, Zoho has been building AI tools internally for many years now. What's the most powerful example you've seen of AI changing how your customers are running their business?
Wonderful. So let me give you a couple of examples. So as a company, we play the long game. We run like a traditional business, no external funding. We run our own data centers. We don't rely on hyperscalers. So same way we have our own AI stack. We've built our own LLMs. So put that apart. So let me give you two case studies here. So the first thing is, this comes from Manage Engine, our IT management division. And typically, IT is very digital first. So generally, when somebody says, I'm not able to get value out of AI, you say, improve your digital maturity. That's what I said for the last question. But IT is 100% digital. But the fact that all of these processes are in silos means there are a lot of places, there are a lot of blind spots in your organization. Think of something like an onboarding workflow. You're recruiting somebody, you onboard them, your system admin gives them access to all IT assets. And then there is an resignation workflow where you remove all credentials, because post-pandemic things have changed, right? I mean, what was sensitive enterprise information being accessed only from the office, in the office computer, on the office network, now all that's gone for a toss. So insider threats are increasing. So with static rules, you can only do so much. But with very dynamic rules that are hyper-personalized for each and every individual, for each and every entity, for each and every combination of an individual and an entity. For instance, Ram Prakash uses this system this way. All of a sudden, he seemed to exporting passwords out of the system. He doesn't usually do that. So it's not one AI ML framework. It's a combination across the stack. So this is something that we saw in IT. Again, 10 to 15% improvement in productivity. You catch these signals 15% earlier. Your downtime comes down by 15%. Your number of tickets your IT agent is solving per day increases by 15%. So this is what we saw in IT. In terms of the Zoho division, again, we have seen this very clearly. Very strongly digitally mature companies are able to reap the benefits so well. So we worked with an auto garage in India, and they unified all these systems under one platform. Now, this is the case. Somebody who services their car in the garage comes up to the chat support system. And typically what happens is they say hi, and there is a bot handing off to a human support agent, and the human support agent has to go look up who this person is, why are they contacting us, what their history is. But in this case, everything was tied together. So the moment I ended up in the chat support system, the human support agent knew what model car do I drive, because the data is connected to the CRM. And then I say, hey, I did my service 1 week back, I'm having these issues. And immediately, the human service agent looks up and says, okay, these are the parts that were replaced, and looks like the part this person is referring to. So many other customers have also raised this complaint. Now, what would mean searching through silos, searching through different tools, or asking a supervisor, looking into other, your employee keeps switching tabs. Now, if you could contextually bind all of these into the single chat window. So all the way up to scheduling the next appointment for that person to come and fix the thing. So your inventory system has to be tied. Where do I go change my steering? Where do I go change my wiper blades? So these connected platforms in both customer-facing roles, in internal IT, the very well-connected platforms are where we are seeing usage. And it's not about just, okay, I did this, I use an AI model here. It's not about one point. It's about how well connected these systems are.
I see. And Lars, how do you decide which parts of a business should be automated versus which parts of the business, hey, we still need humans? And is that going to change in 6 or 12 months?
Yeah. Well, I think as a company, maybe not startups, but as a real existing company, there's always things that you can do better. Yeah? The more you grow, the more slower the execution becomes. And I think this is generic for all corporates. I think you talked a lot about productivity wins, and I think there are many opportunities in there that we can do things. As I said, I believe we have a paradigm change right now because employees, see things that they want to do differently. Because previously they said, yeah, it's IT, and they will come up with something, and then I have to do. But no, now it's not anymore like this. They come and say, I know it's possible. I've tested it. I've built my proper lovable. I've used ChatGPT to do the calculation of it, which enables us to do things differently. And I think you talked about a little bit of agents, and I would like to take this to the next level. For me, I'm not talking about agentic workflow, because it's something that is a table stakes. We have to do this. We're working on it. And I think everybody has something like this. For me, the real question, and this is why I think we're talking business model, really is, can I replace myself with an agent? And not executing boring tasks, but executing creative tasks. Because this is what you need in executing businesses. You need to be creative. You need to have new products. You need to have new ways of executing partnerships. So can I clone this Lars here on stage 5 times, and every time of this Lars works in different team setups in getting new things done? That's my dream. And we're working with a couple of players on realizing this train. And if you think this through, this really means that you can change your business model, because you're much faster in getting things out, and you do it differently. You're a content creator, right? Can I build an insurance for you as content creator? I can. Can I embed my services into what you do? I think we can, really fast, and not in 5 years, 6 to 12 months.
Yeah. Rams, anything to add to that?
Right. I think the way we look at it is, I mean, a lot of what we do at home has become AI enabled, right? So, for instance, my daughter is a very big fan of Frozen and Inside Out, and she keeps asking questions about it. So now she has an LLM that she talks to about all Frozen stuff, all Inside Out stuff. And it has taken so much of my mental workload, but I do really miss the time that I spend with her. And she uses those prompts to create some stories and then illustrates them. The idea is to publish it as a book sometime sooner. But you see the kind of cognitive load that it has taken off parents. Now, bring that to organizations. Whatever is repetitive is going to be automated. And like Lash said, there is going to be a lot of creative element that we have to bring. So AI is still not tactical. It's still not tactical wherever you need that human empathy, wherever you need that human diligence to be done. But for something, think of it as automation where there are repetitive patterns. So if I'm a bank, I would automate areas where my system is concrete. For instance, if 80% or 85% of the time, if the credit decisions for a urban salaried class dweller coincides with my human's decision and the AI's decision, then I would go for it. Anything less than 90 or 85%, you're taking a risk. So finding the right places for AI deployment becomes very crucial.
There's been a lot of layoffs this year by major companies, Amazon, IBM, Microsoft. The big question then becomes, are these jobs ever going to come back, or are they as a result of AI? So how do you each promote the use of AI internally amongst the employees while also ensuring that they're not afraid that these are the same tools that could one day cost them their job?
Right. So if I may go first. So the first thing that we want to do is not having shadow AI, because we see a lot of employees copy-pasting sensitive enterprise information into consumer-grade AI tools with their consumer logins. So for which you need to have AI deeply integrated into the stack, where the context is pre-built. Today, there is a difference between somebody building a context or setting the context. So that's why this, remember last year people were talking about prompt engineering, where I can give a loose prompt, you could give a very, very tight, airtight prompt, and it could work so well. Now, take that off the users, have that context inbuilt from all your systems. The insider thread that we talk about, the context has to come from 3-4 disparate systems. The auto garage problem that we were talking about, the context is coming in from a CRM, from an inventory system, from a customer support portal. Now, have that context automatically built. That said, there is a lot of reluctance in companies or in employees, in our customers' employees adopting these AI techniques, because they're worried that this could eventually take away their jobs. But like I said, remember sometime in 2024, a famous US payments company, they fired all of their support team to replace it with agentic AI. I'm sure we need such early adopters. It is really good. We need those risk takers in the industry. But the fact that they had to roll back their decision means human support is still alive. So I think A lot of AI-related layoffs are still not very AI-related. Yes, AI has automated certain parts, but like I said, the number is capped at 15%. So,
yeah, I think adding to this, and I think the context for us is the insurance business, right? An insurance business is complex. We don't have enough people that are actually trained and able to execute in our business domain. So for us, it's really, can we free up resources that can shift to something else, to new products, to new business models? So I don't think that anybody in our company has a fear of losing his job. No, they're part of a whole wave of getting us better, getting us to the new way, getting to more countries. So we need every single employee, and I want to free them of the boring tasks. So this is where we are. I think the question, if you think about my kids and how the world look like in 5 to 10 years, that's something else. I don't know. I think nobody knows, and I think this would be an interesting beer, wine drink discussion how this can end up. But business-wise, I think on our side, we are quite safe and have a safe harbor for our employees.
It's going to augment more than replace.
It's going to
augment more than replace.
So there's a lot of startups in the audience. What's one thing they should be thinking about, founders should be thinking about when it comes to AI and scaling their company or getting it to a point where they can sell the company or exit?
Yeah, I believe 2 things. One, in this world, the companies win and have data. So this is one. A startup typically does not have data. So I think this, you think about how you build your business model without having data. So find this data piece first. A strategic partnership or something where you get access to data is one. And I believe if you look around, and we do a lot of startup and intraday investing, the best successful founders in the last 18 months are the ones that embrace AI for everything they do, but everything they do. You're not looking for teams that have to grow from 1 to 100 people in 2 years anymore. We are looking for teams that grow from 1 to 10 and have 1,000 agents doing the business. It's possible, it is needed, and this is how you execute. And then obviously you need, coming back to the first one, partners that understand you and have a value. Gen AI changed the way how we interact with startups. We're not looking there anymore for specific small size innovative solutions. We can build this on our own, very much on our own with the hyperscalers. But if their product is built on AI that we can sell, then we're absolutely in. So I believe really you need to be clear on your sector.
Yeah, I think domain matters. And what problem are you solving for the customer is still the king. Because we kind of saw this in the mobile app wave. So all of a sudden, you had a lot of these companies that started building mobile apps. And we remember those cool mobile apps. When I was in college, this was the time we transitioned from the Nokias of the world to the Androids of the world. So you used to have these funny apps like there is an ant crawling on your touchscreen. You go kill the ant. You go smash the ant. Then we had this app where, remember, I was 17 years old in college. Your phone turns into a glass, and you can act like you're drinking beer. So you don't have those cool apps now. So we are in that stage of AI where you get a lot of cool experiments, a lot of funny experiments. So now look at the app evolution landscape now. Today, any software that you buy is expected to work on the web, on Android, on iOS. Yeah. Remember, we had iOS exclusive mobile apps. That's not the case anymore. So the technology is never the moat. Now, the next step is going to be how well AI is imbibed into all the software tools that you produce, be it B2C or B2B. How can AI sit within your app and help users in the problem that you're trying to solve becomes more important than the technology itself. So the usual mantra, I mean, look at what problem you are solving for the customer. Don't use AI just because it's in trend now. We saw that with blockchain. I mean, there was a time when Web 3.0 was huge, and we operate in the B2B space. And blockchain or Web 3.0 comes in when there is no trust. But the lack of trust in B2B, in inter-company problems, didn't exist. So don't go by the hype. Solve problems for your customer. That would be the... Yeah.
Well, with that, we are out of time. Lars, Ram, thank you so much. This was great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.